ShelterBox is a disaster relief charity. It helps families all over the world when they've lost their homes after a natural or man-made disaster. We'll find out more about how they do this later in the film, but first, do you know what a disaster is? Shall we find out? When a volcano erupts, very hot rock and lava can pour down the mountain, damaging people's homes. In an earthquake, the ground shakes so much that buildings fall down and sometimes the earth splits. A tsunami is a massive wave that can be even higher than your school. It's so powerful that it comes in past the beach and often destroys everything in its path. Sometimes it rains so much that there's just too much water around and it can't drain away. When this happens, whole areas get flooded and people's homes can wash away. In a hurricane, fast winds and heavy rain can damage or even destroy buildings, roads and land. Conflict occurs when individuals, groups of people or nations disagree over something and use violence or other kinds of force to make themselves heard. Find out more. Now we found out a bit about different sorts of disasters, let's look at some real film of what things can look like after a disaster. ShelterBox help families all over the world when they have lost their homes after a natural or man-made disaster. When disaster strikes, ShelterBox send big green boxes filled with all the important things a family would need to survive. Imagine if you were caught up in a disaster. Imagine if you lost your home. What do you think you'd need to survive? Remember, it's not what you'd want, but the kinds of things you'd need. Do you think a laptop would help you shelter from the rain? A tent would be much better. If you were cold, do you think expensive jewels would keep you very warm? A blanket would though. If you were hungry, would you be able to eat your iPod? No, you'd need a stove to cook food on.
Yum.
Shall we see what's inside? A family tent, blankets to keep you warm, mosquito nets, a special pack for children so that they can colour and draw, a stove to cook on, pots and pans to cook with, a toolkit for building and mending, and water containers and purification. What a lot of things go inside. Here's some fascinating facts you probably didn't know about ShelterBox. Each ShelterBox has its very own number. This means that if you raise money for a box, you'll be able to see exactly where in the world it went. Did you know a full ShelterBox weighs 50 to 55 kilograms? That's more than 3 small children. Did you know that each ShelterBox tent is tested in a wind tunnel and can withstand winds of up to 120 kilometers per hour? An empty ShelterBox can hold 40 gallons of water. The plastic box can be used as a table or even a bath. This is what a ShelterBox meant to one little girl who survived an earthquake.
My name is Siti Aisha, and I live in the village of Barukan in Java, Indonesia. A few days ago, we were woken up by the sound of the ground shaking. My house fell down and a lot of my things were lost, but I am very lucky because I still have my family. All of the houses are gone and lots of my friends are no longer here. The box had many things inside. My favourite thing is the drawing book and coloured pencils. I am still very scared that there will be another earthquake. I only feel safe sleeping in the tent. Now I can think about returning to school. I would like very much for things to go back to the way they were before.
Get involved. Let's look at some exciting ways that you can find out more and get involved. Jump on the website and find out more about ShelterBox. www.youngshelterbox.org. Have some fun working as a team and put on a fundraising event for ShelterBox. So remember, next time you watch the news and see a disaster happening, you'll also know how to help ShelterBox to keep sending them those very important things in their big green boxes.